From the local station, News 4 Jax starts now.
New information in the Ahmaud Arbery murder investigation. The News 4 Jax I-team has uncovered the former police officer charged in the shooting, Gregory McMichael, worked for years in the Glenn County District Attorney's Office without maintaining proper certification to be a law enforcement officer. What's more, the I-team has also found out that his boss, DA Jackie Johnson in Brunswick, was informed of this and asked state authorities to overlook what she called a, quote, embarrassing mistake.
I-team investigator Kelly Wiley and News4Jax reporter Janice Harris are covering new angles of the Ahmaud Arbery investigation. We begin with Kelly with what she's learned about Gregory McMichael, and that's not all. Kelly?
Yeah, at 5 o'clock, I told you that the Attorney General was now trying to open a DOJ investigation and GBI investigation into prosecutorial misconduct on the part of the Brunswick District Attorney and another district attorney involved in this case. Now we've been digging through the personnel file of Gregory McMichael, who worked here at the Brunswick District Attorney's office, and found that DA Jackie Johnson intervened on his behalf before when he was having serious issues with his training and certification. One of the men charged with felony murder in the deadly shooting of Ahmaud Arbery, captured on cell phone video, is a retired chief investigator in the Brunswick District Attorney's Office. The former law enforcement officer retired from the office in 2019. Personnel files obtained by the News4Jax I-team today show in 2014, Chief Investigator Greg McMichael and his boss, DA Jackie Johnson, learned he was not properly certified to be a law enforcement officer after failing to maintain annual training hours with Georgia Post. That's the agency that certifies all law enforcement officers in the state. Specifically, McMichael lacked firearms qualification and use of deadly force courses. A memo inside his file show McMichael said he knew he had been behind in hours, but recently discovered that he had not had arrest powers since January 2006. In the 2014 letter about the situation, an investigator told DA Jackie Johnson, quote, in 3 of the years listed, Greg failed to qualify or have the use of force training, and that because he had not had arrest powers since 2006, liability of improper actions by Greg would fall on him, the district attorney's office, and you personally, referring to DA Jackie Johnson. McMichael told investigators the lapse in training was due to 2 heart attacks, his wife's cancer, and a subsequent bankruptcy over medical bills. McMichael was ultimately granted a waiver from Georgia Post after Jackie Johnson personally addressed the council on his behalf. After Post granted the waiver, Johnson wrote the director saying, "This situation has been a great embarrassment to me and investigator McMichael and had negatively impacted her office." Personnel files showed that ultimately in 2018, he had another issue with missed training hours. Post issued McMichael an emergency suspension. They pulled his certification, took his badge, gun, and police car, and he was reassigned to desk duty at the Camden DA's office. He worked there for months until he retired in 2019. Our News4Jax I-team also learned that Georgia Post has since opened up an ongoing active investigation into McMichael again. And keep in mind, he's been retired since 2019. They would not say what this investigation is into, but we are working to learn more. Something of note, we reached out to the Brunswick District Attorney's Office to ask about this information we found about his certification and training in the personnel file. We have yet to hear back. But one of our specific questions was if he had made any arrest during that period of time that he did not have arrest powers. We are working to learn that information. Reporting live in Brunswick, Kelly Wiley, Channel 4, the local station.